Today on the Nice Guys podcast, fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles. Oh, no, that's The Princess Bride. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in again and again and again and again. Or if you are a first-time listener, my name is Strickland Bonner. Other side of the microphone is Doug Sandler. We are the Nice Guys on Business. What are you doing, Doug? You meditating?
Well, that would have been what it would have sounded like probably 50 years ago, 40 years ago, even 5 years ago, if somebody was confusing meditation with anything other than Om. That's everybody thought it was that, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by the way, yes, I am Doug Sandler. This is the Nice Guys on Business podcast. The Om thing, that's just creepy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not an Om guy. Did you ever have you ever meditated?
No, I keep saying that I'm going to try and start, and I have not done it.
But the statistics that will prove to you, the data, if you will, that would help skew your opinion on the benefits of meditation, unbelievable. The
scientific studies that have been done, this is for all of you out there who think that meditation is just stupid hippie stuff and like Buddhist whatever. I am a facts-based kind of guy, and the scientific studies that have been done overwhelmingly say that meditation does amazing things to your brain and for your body.
So there's a few episodes that we're going to reference here just in our podcast today, just right now, and we'll put the link in the show notes also. Episode 63, going way back in the stacks. I think it aired on September 11th. On September 9th, I experienced my first panic attack. It was a horrible experience. And I think as I'm on my way home, you and I, when I got back to the house, not an hour after I experienced this panic attack, you and I are debriefing, like, what the hell just happened to me?
Yeah.
And so episode 63, check that out, talking about the panic attack, not really knowing what to do or where to go. And what was interesting about after that happened to me, the outpouring of support, because I wrote a blog on it. Also, you can check that out on my website. Just in the search box, just put panic, and you will find that blog post that I had written. Huge amount of support. And then subsequent to that, the therapy that I went through, and everybody, and I was working with a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I still work with her. Elizabeth does a great job. We discussed the benefits of meditation, and so much so that Dan Harris, who's a ABC News, what's a Good Morning America?
Anchor. Good Morning America anchor. Yes.
He came on the show, episode 97. I, again, went to Google. I Googled panic, and then the first thing that came up was, watch Dan Harris experience a panic attack live on television. And that was also, you could see just the lights, the lights are on, but nobody's home. You could see that blank stare in his eyes as he's delivering the news, and all of a sudden is stricken with a panic attack. So anyway, he came on the show, and he developed this app called 10% Happier, which I have since been a part of, which our guest today, Sharon, I know it was a long way to get to how Sharon Salzberg is on our show. Sharon is a pioneer in the field of meditation, and this is not your father's meditation. What's great about it is there's no religious implications here. There is no like I said, I was completely turned off to that. And it's not a huge time commitment. Literally 10 minutes a day, twice a day is what I do. And I hear that is even long for people that meditate. You just need something that will get your mind in the right place. And Sharon does a great job with that. She is a part of many of the courses that 10% Happier, the app that you can get on your phone, is a part of. And she does a great job of explaining. She's a pioneer in the field of meditation, bringing it to the Western world in the early 70s. But even since then, a huge amount of stuff has changed. So anyway, she's on our show today.
Yeah, she's written a book, and she really knows about meditation, and not just the, like you said, the real benefits of it scientifically, and she brings it down to earth. In fact, she's got a hashtag that goes along with her Real Happiness book. The hashtag is commit to sit. So it's not like, hey, it's not Om.
No.
It's hashtag commit to sit, because really that's what it is. Take 10 minutes, sit relax. Really, I mean, Doug, you do it more than me. You know what it's about, right?
It is a life-changing situation at 10 minutes at a time. It really is. And it really is just about understanding. You're never going to clear your mind out. That's not even the goal of meditation. It's just to understand that we do have these thoughts that go through our head. Sharon does a much better job of explaining it to us. We're going to reference three episodes of the Nice Guys on Business podcast. One is Dan Harris. That's episode 92. The other is when I went through the panic attack, and that is on episode 63. And another episode is the guy that was the creator of this app. His name is Ben Rubin, and that is episode 101.
I bought Dan Harris's book. I got the audio version after he did that interview. It's so interesting. His story is really great because he totally is that type A personality, completely driven guy, and the
skeptic too, and a skeptic too. He was not a believer in meditation, as I was not as well. You know, if somebody said to me something like, "Yeah, you just have to change your diet, or you just have to meditate, or you just have to work out," and I was just no, and no. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I just don't like it. And until I experienced this anxiety, I just thought, you had a panic attack. All right, get over it. Get in a better mood or put yourself in a better spot. Meditation is the way to get there.
And all right, so let's hear more about it from Sharon Salzberg. I mean, hey, we're good to go. Let's,
Yeah, we're good. So, but let me, can I read the promise statement first so we can do that? Get that out of the way?
Yeah, go for it.
Didn't I do that? I haven't done that
yet. No, you haven't done that yet.
I would like to know where it is, first of all.
You got it on your 37 Apple products all linked together, and you can't find it. So you got to put it on a piece of parchment right in front of you, and now you can't find the piece of parchment.
I got it. The Nice Guy promise statement is right here. We don't always have guests, but we do today, and our guest is Sharon Salzberg. We promise to deliver to you the highest quality guests like Sharon. We promise to deliver topics that you want to hear about and to make them fun and interesting, and that is definitely done today. You will consider this very interesting when you're finished with this, and you will have some actionable steps. I promise you that. You're the reason why we're here and why we do what we do, so we promise to listen to you. If you want something a little bit more or a little less, please reach out to us and let us know. We promise to you all along we are not going to hold anything back, because that's what you have asked for, is honesty. So every once in a while we will get that explicit rating because we are honest, we are transparent, and we are open, and sometimes that means we got to drop the F-bomb. If you want to reach out to us, please take a moment and do that on Twitter. At DJ Doug is my handle, that guy over there. Strickland at Nice Guy on Biz with a Z. Please help us by adding a little bit to our conversation on Facebook. Join our Facebook community. Clicking on the show notes will get you there. I think it's also, if you get to niceguysshortcut.com, I think that will get you there also.
Nice Guys Shortcut?
Yeah, check that out as I'm reading the rest of it. I think it is Nice Guy Shortcut. I think it's there.
I am unaware of that link.
Nice
Guys Shortcut.
Dan has helped us with that, so make sure you do that. If you are listening on Overcast, and we know you are because we know statistically that over 86% of you are listening on Overcast, please take a moment.
Don't go to Nice Guys Shortcut. That's not it. It's a great link too. There's a great URL that he found. I can't remember what it is.
I think it is Nice Guy Shortcut.
I just did that, and it says they can't find it.
But
I don't think that is it. There was a great one, and it's a really simple link that I'm like, I can't believe that URL.
How about Nice Guy Shortcut? Try that.
I'll try it.
I think that's it. If you have not had a moment, review the show. As I said, a lot of you are listening on Overcast. Just click on the cover art, click on the recommend button, and it'll get you right there. You can actually go back to old episodes and do that too. We really want to surpass those two small companies like NPR and Tim Ferriss. Our call to action today, please join the community. You'll get not only a free ebook, but you will also register and be a part of our live show if you do that. Please take a moment and do that. If you're one of the first 100 that sign up, you will be a part of the live show, and we will shower you with wealth and T-shirts and stickers and fun stuff, because I know we got a bunch of that stuff coming as well.
Wealth? We're going to shower them with wealth?
Well, it's better than that other thing that we were going to shower them with, so I figure well, will probably be.
Wow.
I don't know.
By the way, it's not Nice Guy Shortcut either. We have got to find it. We'll put it in the show notes because it is a great, really simple URL, and I just can't remember what it is. I
can't remember either. The problem is it's not catchy enough.
No, but it was. It was something really simple too, and I can't remember what it was because we only used it once or twice. I don't know why, because it was really good. We'll find it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because it goes to the Facebook page, right?
Shortcut.com. No, that's not it. Huh. Here it is. It's the niceshortcut.com. www.niceshortcut.com. That's where you go. Are you doing it, Strick? You're typing it right now.
I am.
It's right there. I can see it. I've clicked on it. It works. Niceshortcut.com.
Okay. Oh, nice short tut. Okay, wait a minute.
That's what's the queen? What was her name back in Cleopatra?
Nice shortcut. God.
This is a professional show.
Okay, niceshortcut.com. That is really simple. We need to use that one more often, and it goes right to the nice guy community.
I'm going to write
Niceshortcut.com. Because, come on, can you believe that URL still exists? That Dan grabbed that for us? Niceshortcut.com. That's cool.
Thanks, Dan. Love you.
We love
anyway,
you,
should we get to our interview now? There is an interview.
Oh my gosh, yes, Sharon Salzberg, right?
Yep, let's do it. Sharon, you're on. Our guest today is a pioneer in the world of meditation right here in the West. And I already know what you're thinking. And I was definitely a non-believer, or more precisely, I really was a non-knower of the benefits of meditation. More than most, this episode has potential to actually change your life as you are living it. So I encourage you to stay right where you are, listen in, and listen to our guest. She's a major contributor to 10% Happier. She's a HuffPost contributor as well. As you know, 10% Happier was an app started by my friends Dan Harris and Ben Rubin. So welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast, Sharon Salzberg.
Hi.
I cannot believe that I'm actually speaking to you because so for the last year or a little bit less than a year, you've been talking at me and I've been trying to talk back to you, but you can't hear me, kind of like my wife. So
I know it's that voice. It's my voice.
I love it. I love the fact that you're on the show. So let's get right to it because I want to get right into the meat of this stuff. So Sharon, I was a huge skeptic before I met Dan and Ben and the 10% Happier app. And how easy is it though to meditate, and why should we even think about doing it?
Well, I think being a skeptic is good. It's kind of the right spirit because it's meant to be like an experiment. Mm-hmm. It's not like you have to believe something or you're joining a cult or anything like that. But you have to be willing to make the experiment because it's very real and practical. Just thinking it's a good idea doesn't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like you actually have to put it into practice. So I don't think it's that hard. It's mostly a question of finding the time. I mean, it doesn't have to be an enormous length of time. It could be like 10 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. Dan and I actually have this discussion a lot. He says 5 minutes a day. And I remind him the first 5 minutes are the hardest 5 minutes.
It's true.
Because that's when you're most restless and you're most jangled. And so he said, why are you dooming people to the hardest of all? At least let them get through that. Let's say 5 to 10 minutes a day. And it needs to be a pretty persistent commitment, not forever. I think it is important to assess and evaluate, like, is this doing anything for me? Mm-hmm. But first of all, you don't want to be evaluating every second because then you're never doing it. You're just evaluating it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think the really critical question, which is hard for us, is that if you're going to look to see if it's done anything for you, if you're getting any benefit, the place to look is not in that dedicated 10-minute period. The place to look is in your life. Like, how are you with yourself when you make a mistake? How resilient are you? Are you able to bounce back better? How are you meeting a stranger? How are you letting go of a fixed idea? All kinds of things. How's your perspective taking? So many ways it will manifest in your life if you think that that's the place to look.
Well, what's amazing about that answer is you're right. It's not, you never do find it in that moment, because I have been a 10-minute in the morning and 10-minute in the evening. And I really don't think that's a huge time commitment. 20 minutes a day to dedicate to having a better mindset and a better brain and to better reactions to the problems that are happening in your life. You never find the solution right there. I discover it when I'm eating dinner with my wife and she says something that might have happened during the course of her day. And it may strike me as, in my old Doug, it would have been like, that's so irrelevant, or it doesn't matter, or why did you act that way? But now it's more of a thoughtful thinking it through, just gives me a moment of pause. Sometimes you just need a moment of pause.
Yeah, exactly.
Does meditation, does it work for everybody?
I don't know if, I would assert it works for absolutely everybody, but I think there's so many forms and there's so many styles that many, many people can find a form that works for them. There's walking meditation as well as sitting meditation. There are more active meditations where maybe you're silently repeating a word or a phrase, or you're reflecting on something. And then there are kind of quieter meditations where you're just trying to settle your attention on something like the feeling of the breath. And there's eating meditation. There's so many. And so between all of them, I think most people really can find something that works.
What's so great about it, Sharon, is when I first started listening to the app, it was just Joel Goldstein and Dan. I feel like there's a little bit of a maternal influence that you provide to the app, because I feel, here's a couple of guys talking about meditation, maybe not so great. And then when I heard you, and then what was so great about yours is, now Joe he's a great instructor, and believe me, this is not to diminish the quality of the meditation that I was able to get from Joe. But when I was listening to you, even just the beginning, it was like, close your eyes or don't close your eyes if you choose not to. Just the fact that I was given a choice, it was so wonderful. So when you picked up the ball for me and you started to run your course through the program, and the Nice Guy community might not have any idea what I'm even talking about, but the app is basically small little video and audio sections of it, and each one filled with instruction. And Sharon's was one of the third or the fourth instructional course that was in there, and it was just so wonderful. How did you guys? Now you've known Joe, I guess, a long time.
I met Joseph at my very first meditation retreat, which was in this little town in India, January 1971.
Wow.
So that is a long time. In fact, we established together this retreat center, the Insight Meditation Society, which just celebrated its 40th anniversary. So I've just come from there.
Congratulations about that. And what also, I was looking at your schedule through your website and through your assistant, who sent me your schedule as well, just to see if there was anything that was close by that I could come and shake your hand and thank you and meet you personally. And you're in Seattle, you're in LA, and you're in New York, all in a matter of about a week and a half in there. Like, how do you keep the pace? How is your meditation practice going?
Let me tell you, I do sit every day, and I think it's really important. I mean, there are two things. One is, one of my teachers in India said the ultimate goal in terms of bringing practice into your life is what he called short moments many times. We want to be able to break the momentum, maybe the crazy momentum and the pressure going around us, wherever we are, many times, just for short moments, because those make a difference. It's like we just come back to ourselves. We come back to the moment, which means we come back to our values. We come back to what we really care about. So people try to schedule those things in, like take a minute before a meeting. Or the kind of famous one now is, don't pick up the phone on the first ring. Let it ring 3 times and breathe, and then you pick it up. Although I went into one organization to teach, and I said that, and I looked up, and I saw the complete panic on everyone's faces. And I said, maybe just twice for you. Just for you, just let it ring twice. But however many times, it's just bringing these short moments many times, which changes our day. But I also feel that the way we remember to do that, and that it's not just hypothetical and, kind of make believe, is that by having a daily practice, is by having that 10 or 20 minutes a day where we're not trying to do anything else. We're not trying to figure out our strategic plan at the same time, although that may happen. Mm-hmm. Our dedication is just to cultivating awareness and things like that. So that's what makes it all real, rather than just sort of wishful thinking. And so I've had a daily practice for a really long time because I need it.
What's so great about what you're saying, Sharon, is that at no point during the way, guys like me who first were introduced to meditation, as a skeptic, I was introduced to it until I read Dan's book and actually tried the app. I really had no clue as to what I was getting into, because what I thought in my mind, it was synonymous with religion, it was synonymous with Buddhism, it was synonymous with how has this world, maybe we're just becoming wiser as we are getting older, or is this actually the reality of where meditation has grown to over the last, even if you say the last handful of years? Has it always been this way, or is it just something new?
Buddhism is sort of a funny system. It's kind of more of a psychology than what we would consider a religion. Like, I learned these techniques within the context of a Buddhist teacher, but the first night, January 7th, 1971, of my first retreat, the first thing he said was, the Buddha did not teach Buddhism. The Buddha taught a way of life. This is in no way about becoming a Buddhist or swearing allegiance to anything or rejecting anything else. So kind of right in the heart of it, there's always been that understanding that questioning is good and you don't have to become anything. And, it's about your own capacity as a human being to get more aware and and to have more love and more compassion. And these are things we're all said to be capable of. So here's some tools. Here's some methods. So nowadays, of course, we live in a time where, because of the pioneering work, often of people like Jon Kabat-Zinn, who was actually sitting at my center, the Insight Meditation Society, I don't know, like 30 years ago. And he had this thought. He thought, you could re-language all of this in terms of science and stress and health, and, maybe call it mindfulness-based stress reduction, something like that. And then bring it to healthcare, and then bring it to schools, and he got like a 20-year plan, and he did it, so.
It's amazing. I was even listening to, I forget which podcast I was listening to yesterday, but, I think it was Dan's actually. He was talking to, somebody that was, in the military, and it's a huge, project that the military is working on, or continues to work on, to bring it to not only soldiers that have come back from the front lines to help them, deal with, post-traumatic stress syndrome, but before they go in, to help them think more clearly in a stressful situation. And that is really a key to where I found that meditation has been very helpful for me.
Yeah, well, the neuroscientist, like Amishi Jha, she may have been the one you heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's sort of the main neuroscientist working with the military and mindfulness in terms of research. And, she says she's seeing big differences in executive function, which is like decision making and not panicking. Not making a decision, maybe a catastrophic decision out of that state of being hijacked, by panic, by fight or flight, and which is really very interesting.
I'm sure that not only just meditation, but you've probably been witness to so many of the scientific things as we're just talking about with the military. I suffered my first anxiety attack about a year ago as an adult, and until it happened to me, I really wasn't aware of like how to get in control of my brain, or even what was going on in my brain. Dan Harris calls it that your brain is like a runaway freight train. Can you explain maybe? I know this isn't necessarily your specialty, but because you're around it so much, you probably know. What's the science behind why something like that happens? Do you know?
Well, I'm not a scientist for sure, so whatever I say would be kind of clumsy.
Well, we'll just take nothing I say is actually anybody believes me anyway. So we'll just go with whatever you say.
They talk about parts of the brain like the amygdala.
Right.
They actually call it emotional hijack, which is like that flood of neurotransmitters and hormones and chemicals, and we're taken over. I mean, part of the issue, I think, for any of us is to be able to simply be with that terribly uncomfortable situation till it passes. Because so many of the things we tend to do to try to make it go away make it worse. We try to push it away, we close down, we blame ourselves, we think it's going to last forever. There's so many kind of add-ons, and that's what mindfulness is meant to do. It's not that we will never have another uncomfortable or even, really bad feeling. We will, but we don't need that extra stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I used to say that people who had either an anxiety attack or a panic attack, I would say in my previous world, pre-panic attack, is just change your mindset, stay positive, think happy thoughts. That was kind of like, pardon my French, but it was kind of like horseshit, kind of like telling a guy that was just plowed into my car, hey, why don't you just take an aspirin and lay down? You'll be fine. What is it that meditation, you're not clearing your mind. I know that because my brain still goes in a million miles an hour. It just teaches me how to ride along with that storm properly. Is that what the goal of meditation is?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing we'd say is like, we check for the add-ons, maybe you have physical pain, and right away you start thinking, what's it going to feel like tomorrow? What's it going to feel like next week? What's it going to feel like next year? So then we have taken a year's worth of anticipated pain and laid it on top of the discomfort we had going anyway, right? So then it's unbearable. So we learn how to look for those add-ons. Are we projecting into the future? Are we blaming ourselves for something we could never have controlled? That doesn't help resilience. If you make a mistake, it's studies are beginning to show that the most effective, efficient way to get something done and make progress and learn something and get really excellent at something is not to blame yourself endlessly, but to have some self-compassion. It's like, right, I blew it. That's part of the human condition.
Right.
What are the lessons learned? Let me start over. When I teach meditation, I say over and over again, the most important moment is the moment that happens after your mind has wandered.
Yeah.
Because your mind will wander. It'll wander a lot, but you can always start over. It's the letting go and beginning again that is the most transformative time altogether in the meditative process. And so if you have to start over 1 billion times, it's okay.
Well, those two words that both you and Joseph and everybody that I have heard that deals with certain types of meditation talk about, those two wonderful words are begin again.
That's right.
And they gave me that permission to allow my mind to wander, and it's not the point that your mind is wandering. It's that point just beyond where my mind is wandering, and I can get my thoughts to come back to, in this case, either my breath or my mantra or whatever it is that I'm coming back to. And I love the permission. Thank you for granting me the permission.
Yes.
That was great. So, there's a whole bunch of kinds of different types of meditation out there: mindfulness meditation, loving kindness, body scan, mantra, so many things. How do we know, as we are experimenting or trying to get set into a type of meditation, how do we even know what's available to us? And then once we do, how do we know which one feels the best for us?
Well, I think it's a matter of experimenting. I mean, even just like on the app, for example, I think there's a growing array of offerings. So there are more and more types of meditation. Most people I know will have a couple that they pursue. Mm-hmm. One, some kind of mindfulness meditation, whether it's the breath or the body, doesn't matter. And another type would be some kind of loving kindness or compassion meditation if they're interested in sort of that dedicated approach to that. So the problem with knowing more than one technique, and I was like this the instant I knew more than one technique, would be that I just bounce around, like I do something for 1.5 minutes and I think that's not working.
Yeah.
Let me try that one instead. And then I'd go to that and it's like, well, that's not working either. Let me go to the third one, So it's good, I find, for me, to sit down and basically know what I intend to do for that period.
Right. It's kind of like laying out your goals and your plans for your day of activity.
Right.
You can bounce around, but it makes sense to probably just stay with one.
Yeah. And a lot of the principles are really identical, and so beginning again, for example, is one of the basic principles of meditation practice, and it's going to hold true whether you're with a mantra or body scan or walking or loving kindness. Most likely your attention's going to wander. You're going to have to gently let go and begin again over and over again. and that's, you learn that skill, whatever style you're doing.
There's an expression, and I'm sure you've heard it many times as well. The teacher will appear when the student is ready, or something, mm-hmm. variation thereof. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I have found that 10 minutes a day to be so amazing to me and such a retreat for my body and my mind, or if it's, I can't explain it. Was I ready for meditation when it came to me, or was meditation just something that I've been missing the entire time? Do we all need it in our lives? Or there are people that don't do it. They've never heard of it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. They just have a proper mindset, or they can be in balance and work through their day and never have to deal with it. I don't find that. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know. I don't know. Can you, if for somebody that feels normal, will it still help them? That's good. I made Sharon laugh.
Well, I'm trying to think how many people I know who say they feel normal.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a select crowd of friends. I don't know.
I don't understand. I had gone through my entire life without having meditation just in the last year because of a trauma in my life through this panic attack. I said I needed to discover something, but meditation's always been there for me. Could we use it even if we don't think that we need it, or will it screw you up?
No, it won't screw you up. But, I think some people, in my day when I was young, like I had to go all the way to India to learn how to meditate because it was nowhere, I mean, this was 1970 and it was probably somewhere, but it was so hard to find and so unavailable, so inaccessible that I ended up going to India as part of a college program. It was sort of like my junior year abroad. I created an independent study project. I said, I want to go to India and learn how to meditate. So they said, okay. And I went. And so you usually had to be motivated by some trauma or a lot of suffering or dissatisfactions, unsettledness. You really had to put out a lot of effort. When I went to India, I was 18 years old. I'd never even been to California before.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the only one by any means. And so, nowadays when it's so much more accessible and available, you don't have to have quite that kind of intense motivation.
There's 3 meditation centers within 5 miles of my house.
Yeah,
it's so easy now if you want to meditate, and I don't have to leave my house. I mean, I can sit down in my red chair that I'm staring at with the pillow where I meditate every day.
Use the app,
and use the app. Exactly. Using it. There's an app for that. There's an app for going to India. It's called 10% Happier.
Yeah. Better health too.
Right.
And so it's sort of like, it's a different world. And so a lot of people are kind of getting interested in meditation, not from that place of trauma, necessarily, although there's still plenty of that.
Right.
But intense curiosity or a feeling like, maybe I could live a little more deeply. I'm kind of on the surface of things, or, I am beginning to get stressed out. Maybe there's another approach to things, or there's so many reasons these days why people might approach it.
Well, and it's also, it's obviously it's reached the scientific level as well, with all sorts of brain studies that have been done. Even my therapist had recommended meditation, mindfulness meditation, even before I thought about the necessity to go into the meditation tactic to try to get some calm in my head. But so there obviously is some proven science behind it. Can you help put a little practicality into the science of it so that people can actually start if tomorrow they decide to, right after this app is over, because I don't want them to turn it off until we're finished here. So right after we get off of the air, what could they do if they chose to start their meditation practice today? Is there some actionable steps? Just a simple something? Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, they could set a timer. Usually that's a good thing to do, so you're not always opening your eyes. See what time it is, for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, let's say 10, if you can do it. Sit in a comfortable way. It could be on a chair, a couch, fine. Close your eyes or not.
Right.
And settle your attention on the feeling of the breath, wherever you feel it most distinctly. So that's maybe the nostrils or the chest or the abdomen. And you just lightly rest your attention on that place and recognize that your mind's going to wander probably 1 billion times in those 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's natural. There's nothing wrong with you or with your practice. The whole point is the next moment where you have the chance to be really different. So instead of judging yourself or blaming yourself, it's the practice of letting go gently and starting over, just bringing your attention back. And then you just keep doing that. All kinds of feelings and thoughts and things will come up. It doesn't matter. The kind of steadying place is the feeling of the breath.
It is a nice guy community. Those that are listening to this and those that are just listening to this for the first time because they heard like a really big deal, like Sharon is coming on the show. It is just that simple. And the practice of doing it once, you are not going to see any results when you stand up from your cushion, off the cushion for that first time. But over the course of a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or even I now have almost a year into this, it is an amazing transformation of your responses, not while you're meditating, but after that. And it really does make a huge difference. I mean, you've dedicated your entire life to it, Sharon. You have to feel that way as well. How amazing is it that this is fully embraced, or as fully embraced as it has been so far in the Western culture? How do you feel about that?
I'm astonished. It's like we, having just come from the 40th anniversary celebration of the retreat center, we were all joking around about that first year when, our mantra was, we can always close in a year. Maybe nobody in this country wants to learn how to meditate. We'll just close it in a year.
Yep.
And
40 years later.
40 years later. It's like everywhere.
So as far as the benefits, what are some of the obvious benefits that you can share with our community that you see fairly quickly or over a short period of time?
I think one is greater concentration, which is kind of not in a forced or tense way, but in a very relaxed way. Your mind just feels much more stable, more present. There's a lot of sensitivity and just sort of discernment, like a lot of the things we might normally miss because we're multitasking all the time, and
oh my gosh,
and we're at such a speed, we kind of start to pick up, and things like, if you're talking to somebody and you're not really listening to them, and because you're thinking about the 50 emails you need to write, and then you realize that, and you bring your attention to the moment,
right,
and you listen, then there's a lot of learning about that person that can happen that could never have happened when you weren't really in the room, except physically.
It's
like that.
It's been a true life changer for me. I mean, every day, and I hope this pleases you, this next thing that I'm going to say, because it is the reality of my life right now. Not only has it been a life changer, but every day is a part of my practice. The words, may I be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with ease, which I know are the ones that you share on the app. They're not only in my life, they're a part of everywhere I go. I see them, I feel them, I live them. And because of you, I know you didn't invent those words, but you created this spot in my world where I clear enough space so those words are really words that I just don't say, but I start to feel. It really gives promise to can we actually speak it into existence? And
that makes me very happy. Really.
Well, it does. It's a great feeling to have. It's a great feeling to be able to share. Is if you can pull any positivity out of a horrible situation that I've had, not just you, but those that are listening out there, it is, and this is the way that I look at it, is that all of the people that I get to touch as a result of having this terrible experience in my life, it's opened meditation to me. It's opened just this whole world of just trying to find some clarity and to be focused and disciplined. And those areas of my business have been great. I wish there was a meditation on goal setting because I can't seem to quite find my way through that yet. So, but it's any wise words of wisdom that you can impart to our community so that they can go out there and make sure that they've accomplished the things that they needed to from a meditation perspective. It's just such a wonderful thing.
Well, what I say to my friends is like, what's a realistic commitment you can make for, a while? And like one friend said to me, 10 minutes a day for a month. And I said, that's perfect because it's an experiment. And I personally think it's easier to do every day than 3 days a week. Cause then you start thinking, it's Tuesday. I'll wait till Thursday, just a little bit of time every day. And if you can't do the 10 minutes a certain day, you can only do 2 minutes, do the 2 minutes. Try it every day for a month and then see.
Oh, it's so true. And you can do, you really can do every day. Just try a week, try a month. And I'll tell you, you will get hooked. It will become a habit. It will be something that you actually, when you are out or at a hotel and you've had a full night of enjoying yourself and you've even on vacation and you're like, no, I need my 10 minutes before you go to bed. You miss it. It becomes a habit and you really want to have it as a part of your life. If there's ever a day that I do miss it, or if I have to cut it short by 5 minutes and not do my 10 minutes, I really miss the other 5 minutes completely. So, Sharon, we've done this with every guest that's been on the show right now. I know you have an iPhone, and it's probably somewhere near you. I guess, is it near you now?
I can find it if you want me to.
If you have just a brief second, I'd love to play this game with you because I want to see the inner workings of Sharon Salzberg. Okay. While Sharon is searching for her phone, we definitely want to thank her for being a part of the show. And Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. We will do our final iPhone fun experiment with Sharon to see how she compares to the rest of the guests that have been on the show over the last couple of years.
Okay.
All right, you're back.
I'm back.
Okay, great. So let's see how the personal life of Sharon Salzberg, what you're all about. So what is the guilty pleasure app that you have somewhere either on the first screen or even the second screen? I've cut some slack for some people that don't have
any. What is my guilty pleasure app? I'm not sure I even have a guilty pleasure app.
Let's see, have any?
I might take my guilty pleasures elsewhere.
Maybe. Wow, Sharon. Okay.
Let's see. I just put Snapchat on.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually kind of a productivity app, but I am definitely old. I'm a little older than Snapchat will allow to have.
So am I, really. Just 10% happier.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you have 10% happier on your phone, Sharon. That's good.
No, I don't play games or anything like that.
No games. Okay.
I don't know how.
I'll take Snapchat. I'll take Snapchat. That's fine. All right. So go to your photo app for a second. Anywhere you store your photos. So when you take a picture, it goes into this folder on your phone. What was the last thing that you took a photo of?
I officiated at a wedding, and I took a photo of the kind of the stand, sort of the lectern.
Nice. Very good. All right. So now we know a little bit more about you. You're also an officiant.
Well, I don't really. I mean, I've only done it twice.
How was the experience for you?
It was really fun. I mean, I wanted it to be uplifting.
Was it a friend or?
Yeah. No, it's all friends.
That's great. Yeah. When my wife and I got married just last year, we had a friend of ours who actually got ordained as a result. So that he could do our wedding. We wanted him to do it. And that was a fun experience. It was great because he's a funny guy and he's a big guy. So we loved, he was so just wonderful with the crowd and the booming voice. And it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So Sharon Salzberg, thanks you so much for being a part of the show. Nice Guy community. Like I said, never underestimate the power of nice. Special thanks to Sharon. And Sharon, looking forward to hearing the end result of the edited version. And congratulations on so many great successes with you and Dan and with your retreat center and everything that you're doing with your meditation practice.
Thank you so much.
Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
Friday advice and Tuesday interviews with people far more interesting than they are. Fill up your week with the nice guys. Have fun storming the castle.